Welcome back to Coffee and Conversation. Now, I always start these videos off with an Audie update for the Audie fans, mostly because the Audie fans are so much like Audie. If you don't give them what they want the instant they want it, they get impatient. Something in the water, I guess. We're not starting with Audie. We're going to start today with Yellow. And Yellow, for Catherine, for Lex's mom, for everyone whose life has been impacted by cancer, we are sending you our very, very best wishes. And this pin was sent to me by Colleen, and she sent me the pins so that I didn't have to go trashing through my wardrobe looking for something yellow and then wearing the same items over and over again, because quite frankly, it's a small fraction of my wardrobe. But from your point of view, because I always have to dig out yellow, it's getting tedious, I'm sure, because I'm wearing the same stuff all the time, simply because it's yellow. So Colleen has given me a lovely alternative. And now comes the Audie chat. Well, this came in a box from Colleen, and I opened the box, took the pin out of the box, set it back in the box, because you know when you get a pin, they're usually pinned onto a card or something like that to keep it in place in the box. I simply took out the pin, put it back in the box, put the lid on the box, set the box down, and the next thing I knew, I was hearing the pin rattling around under the bed with a cat skittering after it, and I found the empty box. So I knew Audie had taken it. I mean, he practically signed his name to the crime. I figured I had two choices. I was either going to crawl on my belly under the bed, try to figure out where it was. That just didn't sound like much fun. And Audie almost always gives his stolen stuff back. Eventually, sooner or later, I'll get it back. And that's what happened with the pin. Eventually, he batted it out from under the bed, and I found it. I said, okay, great. He doesn't damage things. He's not really interested in eating anything like this, so he's kind and gentle to it. It's not like, he's trying to kill it. He's just playing, just wants to have a little bit of fun. So I got the pin, and I thought, okay, we're going to give this a try, because I'm not good with pins and brooches. So I know it's hard for you to see this because it's right at the very, very bottom of the video frame. The problem is, in order to get this on the shirt, I played with it in front of a mirror for about 20 minutes, gave up, took the shirt off, put it on the bed, pinned the little brooch onto the shirt while it was on the bed, then put the shirt back on. That's the only way I could do it. And I would love to be able to just grab this, take it off, and put it on a little higher so that you can see it, but that actually does mean stripping. So no, I am not good with these things. And my fear, of course, is that I'm going to put it on, I'm going to leave it on, I'm going to forget I have left it on, I'm going to throw the shirt into the laundry and find out that I left it on after it's gone through the wash. So yeah, pins and I are not great friends. However, I am going to tell you how I cope with this, because this might actually be valuable if any of you are like me and just can't work these things out. What I will probably do is take the pin back off this pin. And there are a lot of ways to do it. Sometimes I do it with my little Dremel with the cutting wheel, just rip it off. And then I glue rare earth magnets on the back. They're just little tiny strips, very thin. You can easily glue it on the back of a pin. One piece on the pin, the other piece, you just slip it into your shirt on the inside, and it will stick. Now, the great part is, all you have to do is get that little magnet somewhat close, and the magnetic action will just sort of pull it right into place. I love that. Gosh, that works for me, because it takes all of the chaos out of putting a pin on a shirt. I know. You probably weren't thinking putting a pin on a shirt is inherently chaotic. In my house it is. But of course, as I say, I've lost the pin for about 3 weeks when Audie took to playing with it. So I do have to be very careful of my jewelry. But I did want to share that little rare earth magnet thing with you because I use that all the time. It absolutely works. We are going to take a break for the intro. I'm going to go in the other room and get a pin and show you exactly what that looks like. Audie, by the way, after he gave up his trophy, is in the front window staring at my neighbor's yard because my neighbor's yard still has a little snow in it and I don't have snow in my yard anymore. So he's got to go over there and look at the neighbor's snow. That cat is so easily amused. So, intro, I will be right back and we will pick up on this. Okay, so let me show you. This is my Audie pin. I have 2 of these, by the way. So this is an Audie pin. This was made by Lisa of DesertDragonworks, and let me show you the back. This is the rare earth magnet. It's simply affixed with a dab of hot glue. Here's the other side of the magnet. And all I have to do is just stick this in, and it just sort of snaps in place. So easy. Oh, and if I don't like the way it looks, I can just twist it a little. But that is how I can make pins work for me. So yes, the Audie pin works perfectly because of the magnets. So there it is in actual operation. Oh, and those of you with very sharp eyes may have noticed I took Audie's Coke can off the top of the bookcase because he's been climbing up on the bookcase lately. He never used to do that. Well, not never. Only once in a great while when he was very excited about something. But he's been doing it rather a lot lately. And I figured it's only a matter of time before he gets it into his head that he can knock that Coke can down, drop it on the floor, chase it around the house. And I have a feeling, because that's like a 5-foot drop from the top of the bookcase to the floor. For a Coke can, yeah, I'm not exactly sure it'll make that drop. And then Coke can will hit the floor, Coke will be all over the place, I will not be thrilled. So I had to find another spot for it. But yes, that can of Coke is my trophy. That was the last thing that he stole. Just grabbed, took, ran off with. No, actually not the last thing. There was one after that. But he does steal things, and he does take them off to play with them. But eventually, like I say, he'll turn it up again. I can go through the house from morning till night. I will never find whatever it is he's been playing with. I just have to wait until he either gets tired of playing with it and is willing to give it back, or he starts playing with it again and just plays it out into an open space where I can grab it. So, there we go. That's the last of our Audie news. So, let's talk about another package I got, because I got a package this week from Anne in Scotland. And I know, even though you may not know who Anne is the one who gave us those beautiful photos of the Scottish castles that I've used to make slideshows, and they are fantastic. Everybody always comments about those. So yes, that's where she lives, in Scotland, in the midst of a bunch of gorgeous castles. Oh my. So, let's just take a quick break from this. I filmed the contents of the package separately, so I'm going to insert that footage here, and you can see everything she sent, not just to me, but to Audie too. I got some goodies earlier this week. So I am going to share with you, because I got permission from my gift giver to do this. And we're going to start with what she sent Audie. So here is a bird with ribbons on its tail. Now, I took it off the little card it came on because Audie will steal this, and he will steal the card right along with it, and then I'll have to pick up scraps of cardboard. No thanks. Here is another one. Oh, this one is so interesting. We have a little, this is like a nylon cord, a spring, a bow, more ribbons. That was also on a card, and I took it off so that when he steals it, and he will, that I won't have to contend with any of that crumpled cardboard with cat drool on it nonsense. And here is Audie's casual tartan bow tie. So, in case you hadn't figured out, this all came from Anne in Scotland, and the last tartan bow tie she sent Audie was a red velvet. So that's his formal tartan. This is his casual tartan. And this means I can take Audie off onto a trip with me to Scotland. And, well, I mean, obviously he can hold his head up regardless. He's a Hamilton after all. And believe me, Hamiltons can hold their heads up with anyone in Scotland. Thank you very much. But he'll have a nice casual collar for those nice casual pub afternoons. Also, here we go. This, now, what does this say? I'm not bossy, I'm the boss. So, a wonderful little Audie pouch. Now, I'm going to pause the camera for a moment and show you what's on the inside of that pouch. Right here, she sent 50-pence pieces, and they have the late Queen and some sort of, I think she said it was a Paddington bear. What I'm going to have to do with this is take a snapshot of it and enlarge it and figure out what it is. I'm just still thrilled about the late Queen. And here, let me put this down so you can see it clearly. That is a 7-sided coin. Now, I know what a septagon is. I studied math. You all know that. I love math. But I've never actually seen a 7-sided anything outside of a math text. So we got several of them here. And she says that it is a Scots tradition to stick one of these in your bag for good luck. And fortunately, I have more than enough bags for this. However, I did obviously have to go get a new bag. That's right here. We'll come to that later. So let's move on. Gloves. Now, I was thrilled with this. Again, I'm going to pause the camera for a moment so I can actually put on one of these gloves and show you why I'm so thrilled. So here you go. They actually fit my big old man hands, and look at that. Beautiful little detailing on them. The first thing I thought of when I saw these was the gloves from the Edwardian era, and frankly, gloves with detailing like this go back to the 18th century, but I just tend to really associate them with the Edwardian era. These are gorgeous. They are soft. They are fabulous. So let me take them off so I can show you what's on the inside. And here we are, Marks and Spencer. Ooh la la. So these are very posh Edwardian gloves. They are leather, they are beautiful, and I have been looking for a pair of black leather gloves. And I actually, to tell you the truth, I pretty much gave up because even though I've been able to find leather gloves and I've been able to find black leather gloves, it's a hand size issue because, yeah, these buggers do not fit into just anything. So let me show you the gloves they are replacing and why I am so thrilled. So these are my black gloves. They are made of some kind of, I don't know, polyester material. No idea. They're very, very comfortable. They do fit me, but It's like drugstore level crap, if you know what I mean. I mean, they'll get the job done, but not if it's really cold out and not if you actually want to make a style statement. These, by the way, they make a very serious style statement. So these are going into a donation box, and hopefully somebody with very large hands, or perhaps a man with average sized hands, is going to end up with these gloves and be very, very grateful for them. And I am going to be in these. So next up from Anne, this is a beautiful wallet. This is leather. It's very, very nice. Let me show you, because we've got tons of cards from the manufacturer. So as you can see, this is Ashwood. Ashwood is actually a very, very nice brand. So yes, I am very impressed with this. Oh, and I'm going to have to ask you to hold on for just another second when I show you why. Okay, here we go. This is Louis Vuitton, a Vernice. That's what this one is called. And this is my usual wallet style. So as you can see, Anne figured out immediately what it is I like, what size I like. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. So I'm going to put this away, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the stuff. So next up, we have green tea. I love green tea. I hate tea, but I love green tea. So at the risk of alienating all of my British friends, I do not put anything in this. The very idea of putting milk in tea makes me just kind of green around the gills. But no, I just drink the green tea as it is. No milk, no lemon, no honey, no sugar, just the tea, because I love it. So now I have 2 more varieties of green tea. I'm all set. And now, let me come to this one. I'm going to unwrap this for you, but I wanted you to see it all wrapped up first. Now I'm going to unwrap it and show you what it is, because I know you're not going to be able to see from the glare off the cellophane. So that was harder than I thought. I had to get scissors. So here is my Hogwarts Potion Masters mug. And that's going to be full of green tea pretty soon. And this lovely color-changing hot chocolate. When I make that, I will actually do that. I'll film it for you so that I can share whatever happens with all of you. And, oh look, my wand. This is wonderful. Colleen, take note, because I got to go see if I can find one of these for Colleen. Anne got this. She went off to the Harry Potter Museum in London, and I'm sure that's where this came from. So we may have trouble finding this in the States. Regardless, Colleen, I'm going to go look for one of these so you can have one too. Apparently, we have yet another member of the Potterhead squad on this channel. So now it is Colleen, Anne, and me. And by the way, let me know in the video comments if you're on board with us. This is just terrific. And to tell you the truth, I don't think I will make the cocoa in this mug, but other than that, I don't think I'm actually going to use it for drinking stuff. I think I'm probably going to do what I do with all my favorite mugs, which is put Audie's cat treats in them, because he doesn't steal the cat treats, because that would be beneath his dignity. He doesn't feed himself. It's my job to feed him. So the mugs are usually safe from Audie, but they're out in a conspicuous location, and that's sort of my guarantee that they won't get damaged or stained or broken. They will just sit out on the counter holding cat treats. Now, let's move over here. This was not part of Anne's package. This is a bag I got because black gloves. I need a black bag. You had to know that was coming. And this is a Haute Hippie. So let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to back up so you can see it. That is what it looks like when it's all in its sort of normal state. But when you pick it up by the handles, this is the great thing. These corners just sort of naturally fall in, and you get this wonderful little triangular shape. It is great. This was $32, genuine suede, Haute Hippie, which is a good brand. And yeah, what can I say? I was not going to buy a bag, but I was out shopping today wearing my gloves, and naturally I had to get the bag. It was a moral imperative. I don't know what to say.
With Kent, it's a moral imperative.
So, new bag. Oh, and for those of you who like fancy bags, I would say check out TJ Maxx, because I have gotten some outstanding deals, really nice, high quality stuff at like bargain basement prices from them. I'm very, very happy with this, even though I haven't had the opportunity to use it yet, but it is perfect. It's large, it's roomy, it's soft, it's suede. Oh, and it's not like I don't have the perfect wallet to go inside. Now, the other things that were included in Anne's package were cat treats for Audie, but those had to go into the kitchen and stay in the kitchen because, you know, Audie. So he has to be able to survey his cat treats for a while before I stick them in his dish, so that it's not strange to him when they go into his dish, because cats don't like change. But he does like Scottish cat treats. I'm not sure why. I am absolutely certain they are exactly the same as American cat treats, but Audie somehow thinks they're very, very special. So he's going to be thrilled for that. And I'm not letting him play with the coins. All right. I am going to follow up on this a little later. Oh, wait, one more thing. I did, as a matter of fact, happen to have an extra handbag bag, a dust bag. It's a little large for that bag, but still. I am a big advocate of keeping your handbags, your shoes, whatever. If it's leather, stick it in a dust bag, for heaven's sake, because dust and climate changes, winter to summer, moist to dry, that can be ghastly for leather. So yes, definitely use dust bags. And this little bugger, before it gets put away, is going to get conditioned, because again, you should always do that with the leather. Oh, same thing with the gloves, although that's going to be very easy. I will just dump a little conditioner in my hands when I'm wearing the gloves, smear it all around, and life will be good. So I made out like an absolute bandit this week, and I did want to share it with you because some of this stuff is so much fun. I am enchanted with those 50-cent pieces. Now, again, we are going to pick this up later because I am putting a package together for Anne, and I'm going to film it for you. I'm going to send it to Anne, and I'm going to wait until she gets it to share the filming so that I don't ruin the surprise for her. But I have a lot of interesting stuff planned, and I think we should have fun with that video. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, what did you think? I was really, really excited about that. By the way, there was something that she sent that that did not make it into the video because it ended up going into my cosmetics bag instead. This is a lipstick. Let me see if, okay, here, I've got a pen. For size comparison, the lipstick is actually a little smaller than a pen. It's a very thin lipstick, so let me show you. Remember that lipstick color I had back in the 80s that I couldn't match? This is just a very close match. So yeah, and that was what Anne sent. I was very surprised that anybody would have been able to find a color match because 1980s, it's not the same color palette. In the 80s, lipstick was a little darker. It was supposed to be your own lip color, just a little darker, a little more vibrant, whatever. And these darker tones, burgundies, mahoganies, that sort of color was very big at the time. It's not anymore. That is just not the direction young people are taking their makeup in. But I'm not a young person, so why do I give a hoot what they're doing with their makeup? I wanted my lipstick. And I had been a little concerned about continuing to use that lipstick because, 40 years old and all, absolutely no telling what's going on with that stuff. Gosh, I'm surprised it doesn't smell like spoiled milk, to be honest with you. So I have a new color. And the lipstick tube is so very different from what I'm used to. This is modern lipstick. Also, I looked up the brand, and I don't know if you paid attention to what was going on when I was opening the stuff and showing you everything she sent. But they were really La brands. This is another La brand. It's Epic Kiss. And I looked up the company, and it is a vegan brand. Now, I am not vegan, but I don't buy, knowingly anyway, I don't buy products that use animal testing. I understand that we have to use animal testing on medicine. Okay, fine, I get that. That's all right. But the idea that we are going to subject animals to testing for nothing more significant than cosmetics, no, that is not okay with me. But as I say, medicine, all right, okay. Yeah, I'll give you a pass on that. Personally, I can think of half a dozen people that I would happily send off for medical testing and spare the poor animals. But the truth is, I know that has to be done. And would I be willing to sacrifice the life of someone's child in order to spare an animal from medical testing? Oh gosh, maybe. Once again, I have to say, I've known some kids. Yeah, it would be a close call. But I do get it. I understand that just because I like my cat more than I like most people does not mean that I'm a fanatic about it. It does not mean that I would say, no, I don't care. Let all the people die, just protect the animals. No, I'm not that excessive about it. But something like cosmetics, oh, please. They're not necessities, thank you very much. And anyway, if I didn't have this no animal testing policy in my household, I expect I'd be hearing from my cat. So, yeah, that's the policy in this household. But this lipstick it's all vegan and therefore cruelty-free, and I like that. When I was younger, we had no idea what they were doing. Absolutely none. We would go out, we would get products that had been tested on animals in ways that are repulsive to any reasonable human being, but they kept that information from us. We did not know. So I'm not going to say we were monstrous for buying these products because we didn't know. It wouldn't have even occurred to me when I was a teenager that the mascara I was putting on was tested on animals. If you had told me that, I probably would have laughed at you and said, oh, come on, you're pulling my leg, right? But yeah, we didn't know. We know now. And now I think we can prioritize a little and say, yeah, all right, you don't have to be a vegetarian or a vegan or whatever to say, I don't want to see animals unnecessarily harmed. So there you go. That's my sort of in a nutshell. And yeah, I was being dead serious when I said that there are plenty of people I would rather see sent off to medical testing instead of animals. So, yeah. All right. So you have all of the stuff that came from Anne. You've seen all of that. You saw the handbag I got, that Haute Hippie. I did want to talk to you about that for a minute because I don't know if you folks have TJ Maxx outlets in your area. I did not know until I started wandering through things like their handbag section. I did not know how many really nice designer items they had for a scant fraction of what they should be selling for. So if you're looking for a bag, I would suggest you check out TJ Maxx. By the way, that is not sponsored. None of my videos are sponsored. I will not pimp my community out. Oh, I get that all the time. I cannot open my email folder without having somebody saying, "Can we use you to get to your viewership?" It's like, no, you can't. So my policy is always, I shall politely decline. Well, actually, I don't politely decline. I ignore them. They're getting pushy now. Now, if I ignore them, I'll get 2 or 3 more emails saying, "Well, did you get our last email?" And I'm thinking, do you really want to push me to the point where I send you back an email that's going to have you crying to your mama? No, don't. Just leave me alone. You go your way, I'll go mine. But I get a lot of requests from people who want to sponsor the videos. I have not even gotten into negotiations with anyone unless they are open to the idea of giving something to my viewers. If they'll give you something, I'll show their stuff. If they won't, they can take a hike. So that's it, because I am not selling you as my community. I think of you as my friends. You don't sell your friends, for heaven's sake. But who knows, maybe one of these days, one of the companies is going to come along and say, "I'll give you stuff you can give to your viewers." I said, well, fantastic. Then we'll talk. Not until then. Okay, how did I get from there? Yes, the bag. That's what I was on to. I did get a new bag. I probably shouldn't have. To be perfectly fair, I don't have a large black handbag in my collection. In fact, I have a black clutch, a very small black clutch, and I have a little $8 bag that I got from TJ Maxx sometime last summer. $8. So it's not a fine bag. It was, however, Steve Madden, which, although this is not a haute designer, still, it's a brand. So anyway, it's not like I can't use a black bag, because everybody needs a black bag. But it was all about those gloves, because I love the gloves Anne sent. I think they are fantastic. And I don't know, did I make that clear enough when I was showing it to you as I was filming it? Because yes, I love those. They are just delightful. They fit me, they are soft, and they have such a beautiful vintage look. So now I'm thinking, I don't have a lot of black in my wardrobe. Maybe it's about time I reconsidered that, starting with a black bag. So there you go. And you are creating a monster here, just so you know. Oh, and I will show you the 50 pence piece. That's hard to say. 50 pence piece coins tomorrow, because I've got them soaking. I want to clean them up, because I am going to do what Anne suggested and stick them into a bag. But if I do that, I want to clean them up, because they're not going to be spent. I couldn't accidentally spend a 7-sided coin, for starters. But I want to clean them up. But there were 2 different Paddingtons on the back of the Queen Elizabeth coins. I was so excited by that. Also, there was an image on the back of one of them that was something about the revolution. And I was like, whoa, it's not the same revolution I'm thinking of. I do not know. Do our British friends celebrate the revolution? Our revolution? I can't imagine why they would, but that was my first thought. And it turns out it was some kind of revolution in 1918 that I don't think I've ever heard of, but because Obviously, 1918, World War I, Spanish flu. That's my knowledge of 1918 in a nutshell, at least on the political end. But I'm going to have to look that up too and see what this revolution was and why the British are celebrating it on the backs of coins. The Paddington Bears, oh, I get that. All right, that is what I have for you today. It's sort of been a fun kind of, I don't know, just a fun lark sort of video. But we will be back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have those coins all cleaned up so that I will be able to stick them into my bag and they'll just look lovely in there. But as I say, no danger of me spending a 7-sided coin. No, we don't have anything like that. Although to my Canadian friends, I will say this. I grew up with my pockets just as full of Canadian coins as US coins. Because back in the 50s and 60s, the exchange rate between US and Canadian dollars was pretty close. It wasn't a big deal. And in the US, because again, New England, very close to the border, we could use those coins interchangeably. I could give somebody 4 US pennies and a maple leaf, which is what we used to call them. Oh, regular pennies and the maple leaf pennies. I could throw a maple leaf in there and shopkeepers would take it. So I'm very used to Canadian coins. A little too used to them, in fact, because if I happen to have Canadian coins in my wallet, I will treat them just like US coins. Old habits die hard, and that habit was deeply ingrained in me when I was a very small child. So it's like I don't even see or process a difference between a Canadian coin and a US coin. But a 7-sided coin, no, that's definitely different. All right, we are going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. I will show you one of the slideshows with Anne's castles, and we'll be back tomorrow. And hopefully Audie will be awake, and he won't be too angry with me for having, there it is, for having stolen his pin back from him. All right, go off, have fun, enjoy the day, and just be safe. See you next time.